Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. This is Magpie and this is the Pup to Pro series. So in this episode we're looking at the clicker and priming clickers. Now, I've used clickers now for the last over a decade in my dog training. I don't use them exclusively for everything I do, but I do use them for certain behaviours, certainly precision behaviours. Is that collar itchy? I don't normally wear a collar, so I am itching my collar because I've got this thing around my neck. Yeah, when we train we have a collar on. The thing with a clicker is, it's a useful tool. Its purpose is to mark a behaviour very precisely. So you say stuff, well, I use the words yes, and I use the words yes. I use yes, okay, good dog. The problem with that is timing. First off, the clicker is a very fast, precise timer because you are using your hand. That tends to be quicker than actually thinking of the word, funnily enough. Secondly, you have tones when it comes to your voice. So you can have, oh, good girl, and you can have, oh, good girl. And your dogs are very good at picking up tones, whereas the clicker, it's one continuous tone. There is no change in the energy of that tone. So it's a very useful device for helping to pick up precision and getting precise behaviours. Once the dog has learnt what to do with the clicker and what the clicker means, it'll help you enormously with various things. It's not perfect, like for instance, I don't use it for teaching running contacts. I know some people do. The problem being it tends to teach your dog to look at you, which is what it's meant to do. You click a reward, click a behaviour you like, and the dog looks at you. But that can be a problem when you're doing stuff that you need them to drive away from you. But of course, I'm sure there's some people who use a clicker for running contacts and have found it very successful. So, two things to bear in mind where people go wrong. First off, they use the clicker to get the dog's attention rather than reward behaviour. I've seen that happen. So they go, oh, as soon as I click it, my dog looks at me, so I'm just using it to get their attention. So if the dog starts to go off, they click, 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 and the dog looks at them. Hopefully they reward them, because if they don't reward them for looking at them, then they're not achieving anything, they're devaluing the click. But the problem with that is you're not actually using it for the purpose it was designed for. You're reducing it to one thing. You're not achieving anything, really. Well, you are achieving something, you're getting the dog's attention, but you're not really utilising it to the best of its abilities. Same with another thing that people do is they teach the dog to do one thing to a click. I knew someone, they taught the dog if the clicker went, they sat down. Okay, that's fine, but you've effectively made the click your cue for sit, and again, you can't utilise it for anything else. So we want this to be a general tool. It's not a cue. It's not telling the dog to do something. What it's saying when we use it is, that was what I wanted, that's perfect. So priming the clicker, I've got one of these little basic clickers. There are loads of different clickers. All you do when you're priming, what are you doing? You got something on your paw? Okay. All we do when we're priming the clicker is we click and we give our dog a treat. Get out that hand. And we click, we give our dog a treat. Click. And this is classical conditioning. All you're doing is teaching your dog, when it clicks, food comes. Why are we not using a toy reward? A toy reward is not the best to use with a clicker because you can't get the amount of rewards in, and again you've got to play the game. It's different. The clicker is ideal for use with food. It's not great for using with a reward toy. So you see how she's already going, yeah, I get that. So once you've done that a few times, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some chicken over there, and I'm going to click and see if she looks at me. Now she actually looked at where the chicken was, so I can't blame her for that. Try and be a bit more organised this time. You look there. It's there. There you are. And she looked at me. Okay. What is going on with that paw? What are you doing with your paw? You stood on something while we were out. Yeah. What's this? So you can see she's looking at me when the click goes, which is what I want. Good girl. That's telling me she's getting the idea of what the click means. And that is how you prime a clicker. It's not hard. Once you've got it, obviously it's going to take a little bit of time, but once you've got it, you can start using it in your games. Very rapidly, you can start using it in your games. And you can then start using it as a tool to mark the behaviour you like, which is awesome. If your dog is worried by the noise of the clicker, and some dogs are, if they're very noise sensitive, that was my hand, can we have a toy instead? Yes. Then what you need to do is either use a quieter clicker, which you can get quieter clickers, or we might need to muffle it. So perhaps put it up a sleeve or put it in a tissue or hanky. Magpie! Yeah, good girl. Or you may need to take it away from, so you might have to have someone else using the clicker and have it in a different room and have your dog away from it and then bring the dog closer as they get more comfortable with the sound. It's just one of them things, you know, again, it's a conditioning thing. Good girl. But all dogs benefit from the clicker and all dogs can get used to the clicker. I have also heard of people that, Magpie, who, when their dogs have been worried by the clicker, they've actually used a pen that clicks to make a very quiet click. So that is a possibility. So you might just need to adjust the sound, but most dogs get used to a click very, very quickly. If you enjoyed this Everyday Canine video, you might like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I hope to see you all again very, very soon.